Good evening from London. The FTSE pulled away from its earlier worst levels. However, it remains lower with little support expected from across the pond. At midday, the FTSE 100 was down 21 points, while the broader FTSE 250 was 149 points lower. It's after long-term government borrowing costs rose to their highest levels since the Bank of England launched its £65 billion pension bailout, with analysts nervous that further market volatility could be on the cards. The dollar edged higher on Monday as investors set their sights on inflation data later in the week that is expected to show that price pressures remain strong. US data due on Thursday is forecast to show that headline inflation came in at a hot 8.1% year-on-year in September. Unemployment unexpectedly fell, and the US economy added more jobs than predicted in September. That pushed up bond yields as traders increased their bets that the Federal Reserve would hike interest rates by 75 basis points in November for the fourth meeting running. Here in the UK, post office branches handled increased amounts of cash in August as banks closed branches and the cost of living bites. The post office handled £3.45 billion worth of cash in August alone, the highest total since it began recording volumes 5 years ago. It says it expects the trend to continue due to rising living costs and tighter budgets. Some people say they find it easier to monitor spending by using notes and coins rather than electronic payments. People typically use less cash in August, the state-owned company said, but this year branches dealt with record-breaking amounts of cash. And Africa's food and restaurant businesses feed 70 million people across the continent daily. However, these businesses lose $100 billion annually due to expensive and unreliable supply, limited access to data to inform procurement decisions, wastage and theft, as well as limited access to capital to fund procurement. We spoke to Gatumi Aliyu, the Chief Product Officer of Vendiz, to discuss how they plan to help transform business operations in Nigeria and beyond.
Vendiz is automating the food procurement process from the point of production to the point of consumers. And our digital platform allows customers to do three things, really. One, to buy their products directly from farmers and food manufacturers. Secondly, it allows them to access working capital through our embedded financial services providers. So what happens is every customer on our platform gets access to a buy now, pay later. And then finally, we give them back this data to make better buying decisions. And the result of that is very clear. This year alone, we've saved customers over $2 million in procurement costs. We've also allowed them to save on waste to the tune of $485,000. We're currently in 2 countries across 8 cities. So the first thing we're going to do is to sort of deepen that expertise and the operations in these 8 cities. And what that means for us is backward integration. We're going to work closer with farmers. We're going to ensure that they have the right products. We're working with them to make those products available for the restaurants. We're also going to work on our logistics, right? Today, people order for something in Nigeria, it's tough. I mean, you know what Lagos is like. We want to sort of compressing that to 12-hour delivery so that every customer on our platform gets access to 12-hour delivery, which we're already doing. And then we're also going to now expand our reach. So currently, like I said, over 3,000 restaurants in 8 cities across Nigeria and Ghana experience the Vendiz side of life. We want to expand that all over Africa, because the goal here is we don't want any restaurant, any business, any food business to suffer from supply chain issues any further.
And those are your main stories from London at Close of Business.